Yo, 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 soul group, soul family, what's good? Friends from around this earth, not around like the globe, because these people be lying. They lying, and this is lion season, right? This is Leo season. And this is all about the Lion's Gate. The energy that we have going through these portals right here. These Lion's Gate portals in this month. Next month. And this is a time for our individuality, who we are, who we think we are. This is perception, identification, right? This is the light we portray, our inner light. And I recently, have been trying to dive in a little bit with myself to create sacred spots within myself that I can tap into and kind of create outside of these constructs, right? And even if it may not be a physical place, you create that. It may not be physical, but you carry home with you wherever you are. You carry this sanctuary, this palace with you wherever you are. And we need to create these spots of vulnerability, these spots of dissolution, dissolving the ego, dissolving who we think we are. And this takes a lot of time, takes a lot of practice, but we can all do this so accessibly. This is our birthright, all of this wonderful playground, this beautiful, yet it has been portrayed and taken over in rotten ways. We are restoring it, bringing it back, not to a new earth, but an old way of connection, because we have lost connection with nature. That is truth. We've lost connection with our natures being reflected outside of ourselves. This is the reflections of nature and our natures as well. And we have lost a connection with spirit. We are reestablishing, rediscovering, reimagining our potential and who we are. This is a beautiful moment regarding what's going on here and the presence we can find by tapping in whenever you want. And like in, for example, the movie Doctor Strange, before you come in, better take your shoes off, leave everything at the door. You cannot come in here with everything, with your thoughts of how you think the world is, your thoughts of the world. You come in here empty-handed, empty-minded, right? You're coming here to dissolution. And it is a real time now to take responsibility. The more we point fingers, the more we miss the point, right? Like Bruce Lee said. He's pointing at the moon. Don't look at the finger. You miss all that heavenly glory, right? So it's beyond what's being pointed out right now. And this right now is a time for us to establish a sanctuary, a home, a foundation to hold space, like I said in my last video, because we had a Cancer new moon the middle of the month, right? Beginning of this. So we had a Cancer new moon cusping Leo. So it wasn't fully in Leo, but it was cusping, because we needed still to create this home spot, this place of home that we can express. This place of comfortability, Cancer and Leo, the expression of it. This is the sanctuary, the sacred spot. And we need to create foundations that are sacred, pillars of archetypes, right? These are stellar, these are unique, very unique, because we are dissolving the boundaries of what we need. Sometimes we need to establish these boundaries. We need to establish Saturn in our life, right? To create these boundaries from people, places, things. And from knowing your energy enough, you'll know when to tap in or when to go in, these points of yourself, which can all be accessible, right? Throughout disregarding the collective, but this is for the collective, and this is also regenerating, because if you heal yourself, if you change yourself, you internally change your world. You can change everyone around you who's encompassing you. Even if that's a few people, that's so many. That's another world in that person, that human. Who knows who they could affect, right? And this is water. This is the yin. We are tapping into ourselves, right? Creating a sacred spot, these boundaries to place so we can dissolve the boundaries, actually. And by doing so, we turn inward. We go yin. We go internal, right? There's always this flip-flop motion of back and forth, push and pull, right? Lunar, solar, and we are yin and yang. We are all establishing these moments with ourselves, with each other, and it's beautiful to hold these spots, right? Because this is the water, this is the yin, and we have junk DNA, they call it in scientific terms, right? And this DNA is basically like stagnant. It's not awakened. It's like the water, it's stagnant. It needs flow, right? It needs life. All water is alive, all nature is alive. This is being reflected to us, right? Our reflected natures. Our reflected inner natures and outer natures. And this water, these DNA can actually be rediscovered, reawoken, turning junk DNA to jump DNA. And this is the water, right? This is the internal, and everyone wants to return to this internal world of feeling, of reimagining, rediscovering. And it's here. It's always been here. It's you. You have access to all of this. It's in yourself. Rediscover, reimagine, stop. We gotta also surrender to a lot of this, because we can't always go looking and what should I do, or keeping ourselves busy. It's hard a lot of the times, but journeying yourself inward, taking medicines, the medicines are in nature, all around you as well, right? We have to utilize our senses. Our senses are touching, hearing, smelling, tasting. I'm just, I have to keep this short. I gotta remember, because I just remembered it's at 8 minutes right now. But our senses, give us the perception of this realm and reality. So if we could journey inward and kind of somehow take yourself to a state where these things aren't going to be projected in you, these symbols, these signs everywhere, this is how they built this entire world, but it's going to be their downfall, because we are going to end up knowing and deciphering each symbol and creating your own sigils, symbols, and all of these different angles, right? These different alignments within ourselves and with each other. This is the relationship, and we learn so much about ourselves through others, and we gotta kind of go internal, like I said, reawaken these things with mantras, with sound, with music, with all the water, the magic that is. And it's very important to do so, and to always hold this, for our heart, so we can actually journey and dissolve, like I said, all these notions, all these conditionings that we have been through and who we think we are, because sometimes, we need to go to a space that, like I said, sometimes the senses give us the perception, and once we master certain senses and certain, things that we can utilize here, it is you know, being